Okay, this is the worksheet you have for homework this weekend to help you out. I did a quick little video explanation of some of the partial keynotes that I have for you to do. We did number 1 in class, so you're going to do problem solving with angles and triangles. We recap what an isosceles triangle is, and I just kind of want to do that again to show you the relationship. So if you have an isosceles triangle, that's a triangle with two congruent sides. And so here's my example. If you see tick marks, two tick marks, or the same amount of tick marks, let's say I have 2 and 2, that tells me that the two sides are congruent. Well, not only do you have two sides congruent, then the sides, if I go to the angle opposite those sides, those angles are congruent as well. So you're going to be using this relationship on a lot of these problems to find the missing angle. So on number 2, we started off with the yellow triangle here, finding G being that the 90 degrees that box are corresponding angles. So I have the 90. Now that I have the 90, I can subtract it from 26 and get me my F, which is vertical to H. Then now I'm going to same side interior. And then D and C are a linear pair. Now once I get to C, that helps me get to my A. That's why I have 180 minus 64 divided by 2. And that helps me get to E, and E and B are alternate interior. So that will help you with that. On 3 on the back, okay, a couple things. Again, you have isosceles triangles. So I kind of have 3 triangles that you're gonna have to use to problem solve. So you have the option to start with the R and E being alternate interior. I got R using my linear pair with 143, or I can start with my yellow isosceles triangle, and P is going to equal 48, because remember, if I have 2 congruent sides, then I have 2 congruent angles. So if I find P, which I know is also 48, then I can use triangle sum to find this angle F, which is a linear pair with G. Okay, so once I get to G, it'll help me move into the next triangle, which I have highlighted here. So what I do is I can use my vertical angles with the 37 to help me get H, because in here I have a right triangle again, and I can use that for H. And then also I wanted to see this arc that I have on right here, this green arc. To get to my D, I know that E plus the 85 plus D is 180. Since E is already, since I have it up here, is already 37. Then if I do 37 plus 85 plus D, that's going to equal 180. So basically I can just add the 2, subtract it from 180. That would give me my D, and now I can work on my green triangle. Also, as a little recap, by working on this triangle, I have this little tick mark here. It shows me that, and because it's there at the S, those 2 angles are congruent. So I need to find the measure of the missing angle in the green triangle, so I can put it now in my purple triangle, and now I can get to my C, which I can help me get to my B and my A. So there's a quick little explanation to help you get started on 3. On 4, okay, you need to start with your alternate interior angles with the 74. Again, I'm showing you that you have this marking on the arcs, on the angles, to show that they're congruent. And I can use those to help me get to B, because it's on a line, and so 74 plus 74 plus B equals 180. So I could add the 2 that are congruent, subtract it from 180, and that would give me B. And again, you have isosceles triangles, my yellow and my purple and my isosceles triangles. Now the additional thing that I add to help you is that you have 2 sets of parallel lines. We have a set of arrows here, so these 2 are parallel, and then we have double arrows, here. So whenever you have 2 sets of parallel lines that are intersecting each other, the pattern holds for both. And so I showed the pattern with the colors, the green and the light blue. So the green and light blue pattern that I have on one set of parallel lines cut by the transfer is on the other. So that might help you find the missing angles. I'm not going to go into further detail on this, but if it has the same color, it means it's congruent. If it has 2 different colors, then that means their sum is supplementary, which is 180. All right, on 5, again, we have isosceles triangles. That's my yellow and my purple. Again, start with your alternate interior, which is the 72. Again, you have tick marks to show you have congruent angles. So that's why B is also 72. And then again, we have this line right here. So 72 plus B plus A equals 180. Those three angles have a sum of 180. So I can find A, and once I find A, I can get to E because they're alternate interior. And then once I find E, I can get to M, and also I can get to the vertex inside of my triangle. Okay, and then that will help me figure out D and F, and F is vertical to the angle in the purple. You kind of got the idea. Go from one to the other. And our last one, this one you will have fraction or decimal answers. Um, you have two sets of parallel lines again. I started with 56 and C being corresponding angles. Then C is vertical. Remember, you still want to get the angle even though it's not a letter there. And then I went to my right triangle, and then I used my vertical, and then to make F, because I have these double tick marks, so those two are congruent, I said 34 plus these two together, minus 180, minus 180 would give me my F. So basically I said 180 minus 34 divided by 2, because I know those two are congruent. D and 34 alternate interior. We have some same side interior as well. I kind of went ahead and marked that for you. And I'm going to help you to see where um, your fraction is. Because if I get my G, which I can do because if I have 34 and these three angles here are congruent, I can say 180 minus 34 divided by 3, and that will give me that missing angle. So G is 48 and 2/3. Okay, or 48.6 repeating. Okay, so I'm labeling that on every angle that has this tick mark. And by getting that measurement, I now can move to this triangle and find the missing angle here, which ends up being 97 1/3. And that will help me find B. And then I move to the next triangle to find H. So hopefully you can use your patterns and use what you know about triangles. And remember, you have to have a common denominator when you add or subtract. So if it doesn't have a common denominator, you have to kind of change it so it will have a common denominator of 3. So if you have any questions, post them. Good luck. Have a great weekend. Thank you for taking care of this stamp on Monday.